Hello and welcome back to Python Fundamentals. In this video, I'll explain about list. As you all know, list is a sequence data type, and I explained about different data types in my previous video. And list is one among the sequence data types, and it is a collection of data. And I showed you how to initialize the list, and the basic property of lists are ordered. That means items have a definite order, and then changeable. That is, we can change the values of a list, and then we can also have the duplicate values in lists. So ordered, changeable, and have duplicate values. That is the difference between a list and other sequence data types. Now, you know how to initialize a list. A list can be initialized, take a variable X, and we can initialize a list by using square brackets because it's a collection of data. We can give values, or we can give, they're called elements or items. We can give, suppose I'll give 11, 22, 44, 55, 67. So this is how to initialize a list. And one basic property of the list is called indexing. Let us try to print the list first. So print list X. So see here, so it has printed as the collection of data, right? So that is the list. Now, in list, the most important thing is called indexing. That is, each element in the list has a positional value. So the positional value of 11 in X is 0, 22 is 1, 44 is 2, 55 is 3, and 67 is 4. That means as we move from left to right in the list, as it travels from left to right, then the positional values will start with 0 and ends with n minus 1. So if there are n elements, so the indexing starts with, our positional value starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So what is the positional value of 11? 0. 22, 1. 44, 2. 55, 3. And 67, 4. Right? So as we move from left to right. And if you move from right to left, suppose I'm moving from the right to left of the list. So 67th position is -1, that is negative indexing. Negative -1. 55 is -2. And 44 is -3. And 22 is -4. And 11 is -5. Right? So this is the positional value of the elements in the list. Now we can access the elements by using their positional value, right? So if you write X takes same list, okay. Now I want to print, or I want to know what is the positional of 11. Suppose what is in the 0th position I want to know, X of 0. So let us see what happens. See. So this is called indexing. So in the 0th position, the element is 11. So if you want to know the positional value of element in the list, you can access by using the positional value. X, keep in the square brackets, write the position number. So this is 0th position. In 0th position, the number is 11. Similarly, we'll take one more example, example, right? X of, I'll say what is in the fourth position in the list. What is the element in the fourth position in the list? 67, because this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So x of 4 is 67. Similarly, as I told you, we can also use negative indexing as we move from right to left, as we traverse from right to left in a list. So if I take x of -5, so the positional value, as we move from right to left, it's 11. So because it's -1, -2, -3, -4, and -1. Similarly, we'll take x of -1, right? 67. So this is an important property of list, right? That is called indexing. So we can access the elements of the list by using their index number or the positional number, right? So position numbers are positive, or indexing is positive as we move from left to right and starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and goes on. And as we move from left to right to left, indexing will be negative, and the values will be, position values will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. So this is the first property of the list that is called indexing. Now, by using indexing, we are able to access the single element, right? I have given one position and access the element in that position. There is another property of the list called slicing. Slicing means we can access, or we can get this subset of the list, or we can get a group of, I can print a group of elements in the list. So for that, we can write x, start with the first element, colon, 3. We'll put comma also, we'll put comma. So from 1 to 3, what are the elements I want to print? So I put colon, right, not comma. Understood. See. So this is the 0th position, right? This is the first position, second position, and third position. I asked to print from 1 to 3. That means it print from 1 to ending -1. So this is a starting positional value. This is the ending position value. So it prints elements start from the start to end -1. So ending, I have given 3. So it has printed only 2 elements, 1 and 2. Let us take for one more example. And let us suppose if we take 1 to 5. So it must print the elements from 1 to 4, right? So this is called slicing. Prints elements from starting from position 1 to end -1, that is 5 -1, fourth position, right? Starting from position 1 to end -1, that is the fourth position. So what will be the elements? 1, this is 44, 55, and so 0th position, first position, second position, third position, fourth position. So it must print from 22 to 67. Let us check. Right. So this is called slicing. And also we can give negative values instead of the positive values. And when we are giving the negative values, suppose I can give the position, we'll take the same list and try to print with negative indexing, that is x of, so I'll say from -3, -1, right? Sorry, we have to put a colon, not comma, right? Now let us try to print. See here. So this goes from -3. This is -1, -2, and -3. So it will start with -3 and ends with minus of -1, -2, right? So that is two elements will be printed. Now let us take one more example. And when we're giving when you are giving negative values, you should give the -3. You know how to use the negative values, I hope, right? So let us give one more. Let us take one more. We'll take from -5 to -4. Oh, not 4. We'll take -2. So it must print from, this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So it must print 11, -2, -1. So up to here we have to print 11 to 55, right? So let us take, right? So this is, so it prints from -5 to -2, -2, -1, that is -3. So -4, -5, -3, 3 elements it will print. So end -1. So here the ending element is, ending position is, end position is -2. Therefore, what it will do? It will -2, -1, and end -1. That is equal to -3. So it starts from -5 and goes up to and prints up to -3, right? So that is called slicing. And then we have some operators which can be operated on list operators. So in strings also we have used some operators like concatenation, right? Repetition, membership. Then we'll also, we can apply those same operators on the list also. So we'll take a list of x is equal to this, and take one more list, y is equal to, I'll take list of letters A, comma, B, comma, C. Now let us take the first operator called concatenation. So plus is used for the concatenation. So x plus y. Let us see what it concatenates. So it adds the elements of y to x. So that is called concatenation operator. The next operator. So this is a concatenation, as I told you. So it adds the concatenates to concatenation two lists, and it will add the elements of second list to the first list. The second operator that can be used in the list is called repetition. Suppose x, we'll take x is equal to the same thing, or we'll take a y. Sorry. Y will take the list y, and then use the operator called repetition operator. So y multiplication is a repetition operator. How many times you want to repeat the list, you can give. I want to repeat the list thrice. So let us see the output. See here, the element in the list are repeated thrice. So that is called repetition. So multiplication operator can be used as a repetition. How many number of times you want to repeat the elements, give it as a number, right? So that is called, next is called the repetition operator, right? Repetition. And then you have another operator called membership. Membership obviously is if you want to know whether a particular element is present in the list or not, then we have to use membership operators. There are two membership operators, in and not in. So we can write A in Y, then obviously it will return true, right? Because A is present in Y. Now if you write Z in, sorry, Z in Y, then it must return false. False. So that is membership. And the same thing you can use not in operator also. That is Z not in Y. Yes, it is true. Z is not in Y, right? So it must return true. So these are the membership operators. So the next operator in Python is the iteration. We can use for loop for the iteration purpose. That is, we can print the elements by using for loop. So you take a list of the elements and then write for loop for I in the list X, print. So you have to take a variable, how many times you want to repeat the loop. For I in X, print I. Right? So this is how we can print the elements. Suppose if I replace the list with the characters also, we can print. I replace with the Z, comma 1, comma 2, and then I'll put some and the letter B, and then again I try to print. Yeah. So this is the iteration. So these are the operators in Python. One is called concatenation, where we can add the list of one list to the other list, so that the elements of the list of Y will be added to the end of the first list, that is X. Repetition, how many times you want to repeat the elements of the list. You can use multiplication operator, and then how many times you want to repeat, just give it as a number. That is called repetition. And then membership, if the element is present to the list, you can check by using in and not in operators. And then the iteration, you can print the elements by using the for loop. So iteration is also possible on the elements of the list. So this are the operators in list. So we have learned about indexing and then slicing, and then the operators which can be operated on a list. Now we have some functions. We can use some functions on list. We'll see what are the functions available in the list. So you take a list of numbers. You can also repeat the numbers, right? Now, the first function is length of X. Length, len is the keyword. Length is a function. It returns the length of the X. That is how many elements are there in X. So there are 4 elements, so it's a return 4. That is the first function in the list. And then you can find maximum value of X. So in the list X, what is the maximum value? 33. So use the function max of X. So it will return 33. And then you can also find the minimum value of the X. So you find what is the minimum value in the list X. So it is 11. So it has printed. And also you can find the sum of the elements in the list. So you can write sum of X. So all the elements will be added and sum will be returned. So it is 88 because we have 22, 22, 44, 30, plus 33 and plus 11. So 88 is the sum. So we have studied about different types of functions in Python, that is len, finding the length of the list, finding the maximum value in the list, and finding the minimum value in the list. and finding some of the elements in the list. These are some of the functions that can be used on list.